What's up, guys? Welcome to today's solo episode of the Men Made for More podcast. We're talking about breaking down your big goals, your big dreams into manageable and bite sized chunks today through a process that we call goal setting to the now. Have you ever set a big goal only to become paralyzed and overwhelmed by what you need to actually do to achieve it? At Men Made for More Coaching, we help our coaching clients all the time break down their big and ambitious goals, those big dreams, into a clear and effective action plan to actually achieve their dreams. So listen up today to learn how to break down these big goals into manageable action steps that you can use to turn your dreams into reality. Now, why is this so important, guys? I love surrounding myself with big thinkers, big dreamers. Those guys get me fired up. And I always encourage people to do the same, to demand more, to raise their standard, and to live a life true to their dreams. However, big thinking and dreaming is only empty talk if you don't follow through with purposeful action. Men out there that are operating on a different level, that are achieving their dreams and making a huge impact on the lives of those around them are doers. Many people can dream big, but they get so overwhelmed and paralyzed with details when it comes to actually taking action towards their dreams. How many of you have been there? I've definitely been there. You set this big goal, something's on your heart, you get so excited about it, but you write the goal down, you look at it, and you just get wide-eyed. You freeze in your tracks because you're like, how am I going to even start? How am I going to make this happen? This doesn't have to be this way. We're going to talk today how to break these goals down, how to get this action plan in place that will help you get from that far place, that place where you have no idea how you're going to get there, to forming a plan that can help you take the steps necessary to do that. To avoid this common trap that we fall into of setting a big goal and then getting paralyzed and not actually following through on it, we're going to be talking about a process of breaking your big goals down into clear action steps called goal setting to the now. And we'll get into the strategies here in just a couple of minutes. But first, I just want to start with a quick example of the importance of breaking down your big goals before we get into those strategies that you can implement. Now, one of our coaching clients, Mike, he's looking to bulk up to 225 pounds. And he wants to keep adding strength across his major lifts. I know for some people, I know I say this and they're like, wow, must be tough trying to gain weight for the people that are trying to lose weight. But for the ones that have a hard time putting on muscle and keeping muscle on, this can be a tough thing to do. He was currently at a 205 when first making this goal, and had a time frame to do it over the course of 6 months. Now, we'd already been working together, had a strength program in place and dialed in, but we had to make some more tweaks to nutrition breakdown, nutrition timing, and set appropriate what are called micro goals to help make sure he was progressing appropriately. Now, based on his goal, so 20 pounds over the course of 6 months, we want to make sure we're doing this appropriately. We want to make sure that we're staying on track. So based on this goal, we were able to break that 6-month goal down into a 3-month goal, a 1-month goal, a 2-week goal, a 1-week goal. And we're going to talk very specifically about how to do this for you guys. But when you look at a goal of 6 months or longer, so you look at this goal of, okay, I need to find a way to put on 20 pounds over the next 6 months and wanting to do it appropriately. There's good and bad ways to put on weight. We're trying to do it the right way. But when you look at one of these goals of 6 months or longer, when you look at a goal that you set of maybe it's a year out, 3 years out, it can quickly become overwhelming on knowing what you need to be doing today, right now, to make that goal a reality. Now, the 3 and 1 month goals we set were more outcome based. So we need to be weighing this amount by this date and moving this much weight in the gym. Those are more outcome based goals. Now, the shorter term ones, we're starting to build habits in place, starting to lay down the foundation to make that goal a reality. So the 2 and 1 week goals were more process based, adjusting macro breakdown, tracking calories, eating schedule, meal timing, and so on. So what this allows us to do by breaking down this big goal, and 6 months away and doing something that you've never done before is a big goal. It's a stretch for someone like Mike. But what this allows us to do is it does a couple things for us. It allows us to break down a big goal into smaller bite-sized chunks that make it seem a lot more achievable. But this also helps to make sure that progress is happening at the appropriate rate. If we don't break it down, then we have no idea 3 months from now if he's on track or not. If 3 months come around and we try and see how things are going, and we're just looking at that final outcome, that 6 month goal, then we don't know if he's gaining weight too fast, which would be a problem. We don't know if he's not gaining weight fast enough, which means we need to adjust something else in the plan. And this allows us to get super specific on where you need to be at those different steps. So it gives the outcome around with it. It lays down those habits to help you do this. Now, weight gain and weight loss are easy examples to see, but you can apply this anywhere you have goals or dreams. It can be buying a house. It can be any other financial goals, paying off debt, starting a business, taking a vacation, losing weight, or anything else. The key is to set up these sprints, these micro races within the big race, within the marathon. Guys, this is what helps keep you on track. If you set out to run a marathon, which I have not done, it's not on my immediate goal list, but if you do that, you can break down this long race, this 26.2 mile race that you've never done before. You can break it down into, okay, well, I'm 1 mile in now. I've run 5 miles before. Let me just get to 5 miles. And then at 5 miles, you break down that next little sprint for you. Okay, I'm going to get to the half marathon mark. I've run a half marathon before. And you keep breaking down. You find these landmarks. You find these checkpoints. It's the same thing with trying to climb a mountain. You can't see the top, but you can pick these little checkpoints out along the way. Okay, this day we're going to make it to this checkpoint. That's the same thing we're doing with this process. All right, now that you guys can buy into the importance of the need to break down your big goals into these bite-sized chunks, what are some things to keep in mind? Let's talk 3 strategies you're going to want to get dialed in to get the most out of setting and achieving these big goals and these dreams. So the first is the actual implementation of our goal setting to the now process. It's going to apply to any goal in any time frame. So let's use a common one of a 1-year goal, especially coming up on 2021, where some of us are ready for 2020 to be over. It's easy to set these 1-year goals, these things that we want to accomplish over the next year. So let's say your 1-year goal is to run that first marathon. The first thing you want to do, so in this process, the first thing you're going to do is start by brainstorming all the things you could do to achieve this. Could be things like buy new running shoes, hire a coach, find a running program, start a strength program, follow a daily stretching routine to stay healthy, so on and so on. All these things, just a brainstorm, anything you can be doing. And then you're going to find your should do list. So you're going to highlight the 2 to 3 key action items on that list that will give you the highest likelihood of achieving your goal. So you're going to come up with a lot of ideas. A lot of them might be good. Some of them might be just throw them out, but you want to find those 2 to 3 key ones, highlight those, circle them, find those 2 to 3 key things that are going to give you the highest likelihood of achieving your goal. This is important to help you dial in your focus on where you need to be investing your time, energy, and finances. Because a lot of things are going to distract you. There's going to be a lot of things that as you go through this process that are going to come up that you could be doing, but we want to focus on the should do, the needle movers, the things that are actually going to drive you forward towards that goal. And what you'll notice at each step of this, when we break these goals down, it's one thing you're going to accomplish at each step of this. We're not saying 90 days from now, you're going to need to do these 90 things. We're saying what's one thing you need to do in the next 90 days. And that's where this prioritization becomes so big, so important, because you need to identify those things that are most important to moving you closer to your goals. So with these priorities identified, now you can start breaking the goal down. So based on my 1-year goal of running a marathon, what do I need to do in the next 6 months to achieve my 1-year goal? 6 months from now, what do I need to be doing? Is that running a half marathon? Is that running 10 miles without stopping? Is that running a certain amount of miles per week? This is going to be individual based on you, but that's what you want to identify. 6 months from now, what's going to tell me that I'm on track for running that marathon? Once you've identified that 6-month goal, what do I need to do in the next 3 months? Now, here's the thing as we move our way down. What do I need to do in the next 3 months to achieve my 6-month goal? So we're pretty much just cutting these goals in half, breaking each one of them down. So you're not saying what I need to do in the next 3 months to achieve running a marathon. You're saying, okay, I've identified that if I can run 10 miles without stopping, I'm going to be on pace to run my marathon in the next 6 months. Okay, what do I need to do in the next 3 months then to get to the point where 6 months from now I can run 10 miles without stopping? And that's how this process is going to work as we break it down. So from 3 months to what do I need to do then in the next 1 month to achieve that 3-month goal? What do I need to do 1 week from now? What do I need to do today? What do I need to do right now? That's how specific we can get. That's how much we can break down this big goal into a very actionable strategy that can help take you guys to that place where you want to be. So now that you have your action plan in place, this big overwhelming goal of running a marathon now becomes a step-by-step game plan of mini goals and checkpoints throughout the process. So it may be a year from now that you're running a marathon, but 6 months from now, you're running 10 miles without stopping. 1 month from now, you're doing your first 5K. You're going to run a marathon in a year, but you don't need to run the marathon this week. Maybe this week, maybe all you need to do today is reach out to 5 people that have run a marathon. Ask them for some advice. And then your 1 week goal might be to find a running program that fits the time frame you're after, a Couch to 5K program. Now, repeating these little steps over and over, day in, day out, creates incredible progress over time. If you lay this process out and you follow it, you'll find that these big goals become less overwhelming, less daunting. Now, that's the first step and the most important. That's kind of our main event, is that goal setting in the now process. A couple other things to mention, though, 2 other strategies. The second one being you want to adjust the dial based on how far in the future your goal is. So this isn't going to look the same. This process isn't going to look quite the same if your goal is 10 years out versus 1 month out. So some guidelines on how I would break it down, starting on long end to right now, would be the following: would be to break it down from a 10-year goal to 5 years, 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, 3 months, 1 month, 1 week, today, all the way to right now. So find wherever you're at on that timeline and start breaking it down from far away to current to right now. Now, the closer your goal is, the more you're going to have to break it down. If it's 1 month away, you should be breaking it down every week or possibly even every single day. That's how specific you got to get if you're chasing a 1 month sprint type goal. Now, if it's 10 years away, you don't have to be that exact, but you will have to update it more regularly to make sure you're on track. If it's 10 years away, you don't need to be going every single week leading up to that, because so many things are going to change. Life's going to change. You're going to find you're hitting checkpoints sooner. Some things are taking longer, but that's why you're not going to get as specific up front, but you do have to make sure you're reviewing that more regularly, which brings us into our third and final strategy here. You need to regularly review and repeat this process as needed. So when you have your checkpoints, when you check in, there's only 3 places you're going to find yourself as you work through this. That's going to be either right on schedule, and if that's you, keep at it. You're on the right track. Just make those little micro adjustments to tweak and optimize. You might find yourself even ahead of schedule. I love the people that are, ahead of schedule. Maybe you underestimated what you're capable of. Maybe you can push that time frame forward a little bit, actually achieve that goal sooner. Or maybe you can set a bigger goal. Instead of a marathon, maybe you want to do a 50K. That's a good place to be. Push yourself in those cases. And you might, honestly though, where a lot of people find themselves, where a lot of people seek my help out, seek coaches out, is when they're behind schedule. If this is the case, start back from step 1. Go through this again. You're not going to get this right in the first try. You're going to still have trouble with it. You're going to still have fine tuning that needs to happen. But if you go through this again, you're still having trouble, maybe you need to get some outside help. Find a coach, a trainer, an accountability partner, someone who can help accelerate your timeline for you. So guys, those are the 3 strategies I want to talk about today. That goal setting in the now process is the big thing that we want to focus on though. So like I mentioned, the last one, our last goal setting video, I want to start implementing some take action takeaways for you guys, some things that you can implement, you can take with and run with. And today's challenge for you guys to not just be consuming, not just be listening, but actually take it and apply it. Pick your biggest and most exciting goal that you have right now. And if you don't have one, set one, and then follow this goal setting to the now process. Break that down into bite-sized chunks, individual action steps that you can take and apply. Because guys, we don't want to just be listening. We want to be action takers. We want to be doers, especially come 2021. There's big potential ahead. So make sure you're taking action. You're not just listening, but you're applying. Now, if you guys missed the first couple videos of this 3-part mini series on goal setting process, make sure to go check those out. Those revolve around emotion and find your why, and are really important for staying on track when the going gets tough. But imagine with all this, guys, imagine being able to stay focused, excited, and actually achieve your biggest goals that God placed on your heart. This is not just available for the most successful people out there. This isn't available for the rich, the famous. Anyone can make the decision to follow their dreams and their passions with the right mindset and the right process for getting you there. Guys, if you need a little extra help, I've got a download for you guys in the show notes. It's a free download for you. It's the 5 steps to achieving your big goals. There's a full workbook that goes along with this that mentions a few of the strategies we've talked about in this mini series, as well as some other things. Guys, I got a full video. I'm going to talk you through in that, along with the workbook, how to break down your goals, how to break these big goals down into actionable steps. So make sure to go check that out. It's a free download for you guys. Follow along with that workbook and make 2021 your best year yet. Guys, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all the people listening in from the bottom of my heart. 2020 has been amazing. I'm grateful for so many things, yet also so excited for what's to come here in 2021. So as always, guys, reach out if you need anything, if you want to see anything on the show, if you guys have any questions, we'll be happy to connect with you guys. But appreciate all you guys. Have an awesome end to 2020. Make it great, and let's make 2021 our best year yet. All right, guys, enjoy, and I'll talk to you soon.